Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'm doing all that. I'm getting clarification from the client. Thanks. I think you have the formal. Okay, great. Thank you.
Welcome to the 27th meeting of the Liquor Commission. When addressing the commission, please remember to state and spell your name clearly and to speak into the microphone. I see we have minutes to approve. May I have a motion, please?
Yes, Chair. Motion to approve the regular minutes of the 20th meeting on December 12th, 2024. Move to approve.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the regular minutes of the 20th meeting. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The motion is carried. Um, Before we get to agenda item 1, I would like to call out of order agenda item 2025, Commission discuss processes and procedures for item number 11, the reduction of fee pilot program. Okay, Mr. Patilos. And can I have the PowerPoint presentation to begin? So I wanted to bring forward the announced special license application fee reduction pilot. Next slide. And so our problem statement, as many of you know, and some of you are here to request, by a lack of resources for the Liquor Commission, it has been causing delays and unnecessary expenses for many of you asking for new and transfer licenses. As you can see, unfortunately, in the years of this diagram table, the number of licenses submitted is exceeding the number of licenses processed on a yearly basis. And this is a troubling trend that we're trying to address. And so special licenses are being issued, and they're both, financially expensive and administratively expensive for all of us involved as a stopgap measure. Next slide. And so for the relief options, we're trying to speed the time to process applications, which is probably the best way, in addition to hiring more staff to address the staffing issues with it. Vice Chair Hollinger, Commissioner Sakamoto are leading a permitted interaction group to investigate solving this issue. We're also trying to reduce the cost and administrative expense to applicants. Next slide. One of the reasons why we are somewhat constrained is we are constrained by the statutes that govern the Liquor Commission and HRS 281, specifically 32-5. We can only issue 2 temporary licenses consecutively to applicants. Next slide. And so in terms of trying to provide some relief to the licensee community, we have exercised our authority to approve batches of payments for licenses rather than trying to pay for 6 months all at once. These can now be done in batches. One of the other items that we're looking at that we're going to discuss today is cost reduction. And we are proposing in our next set of rules, and we're trying with this pilot, to reduce the cost of special licenses by 50% if after the expiration of 2 temporary licenses, the source of the delay is due to the staffing or operations of the commission itself. Next slide. And so we had directed the administration to implement this pilot program. We would develop a form for part of a request to authorize reducing the special license. And then we needed to establish policies and procedures to manage this reduction in fees. And so we would use this pilot as part of the promulgation of the new set of rules that we hope to complete this year. And there's a link to the bottom for the pilot, and Mr. Patilos, if you would like to run us through where the administration is.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Sal Patilos, Administrator, Honolulu Liquor Commission. If you don't mind, I'd like to request Doug O to put up the webpage for the pilot. So let me just start, first of all, by thanking the folks in the administrative and field services sections of the agency in coming up and vetting ideas and coming up with a plan and how to tackle this issue. I'd like to point out that this, as you indicated, this is very different from the relief program that was implemented last year. And that relief program essentially allows applicants to pay on a monthly basis for special licenses if their application spans more than a few months. To that end, I think it's important for me to say that with regard to this pilot program, This is not an investigation into the substance of the application, of the applications that have been submitted. Rather, it's an effort to understand the extent of the delay, that's being experienced by the applicants, and to understand the costs and circumstances surrounding that application, and whether or not those circumstances warrant a reduction in fee. The pilot itself is relatively well circumscribed. You have it's perspective and application, first of all. So as developed, it's designed to say that if you've already had submitted an application for special that's been approved, then you can't be part of this unless, of course, the commission decides to expand the program if they see fit. So the pilot program is available to applicants that meet certain conditions. One, they must have submitted a new or transfer liquor license application for a permanent license. Secondly, their second 120-day temporary license has or is about to expire, and they're applying for a Class 10 special for-profit license to be able to continue serving alcohol while the permanent license application is still under investigation. Again, the reduction, if warranted by the circumstances, will apply to the fees that the applicant would otherwise have paid for a Class 10 under Rule Section 3-81-17.51 of the Liquor Commission. That, as everybody in this room knows, imposes a $90 a day fee for special licenses. In addition to the first part of it, applicants must complete the request for reduction in fees form that we created. What it does is provides a history to assist the commission in determining whether a fee reduction is warranted. The application history will include communication dates with the Honolulu Commission, deficiencies identified and addressed, the reason for the request, see a reduction in fees for special for-profit license. I think it's important to note that, once again, this is not a substantive review of the application itself. So, I think it'll be pretty limited in terms of the information that we gather for the request itself. Doug, if you don't mind getting down to the request form, please. Okay, so relatively simple in terms of the information that's required here. If you have a new liquor application, the application number, the date submitted, similarly with the transfer application. And most importantly, the second temporary license, when second temporary license issued, start date, expiration date. I think the application history, while somewhat limited in the information that requires, provides the basis for the commission to ask additional questions about what has gone on in terms of the application itself. For example, date of initial correspondence with HLC, did they tell you what needed to be corrected? Were those things corrected? When did you submit those? And date of last correspondence with the Honolulu Commission. I know it's short. It's not a lot of information, but I think usually within the gaps there are questions that the commission can ask about what's been happening to the application itself. Reason for request, that's relatively simple. The application is pending investigation. They're requesting additional time to correct documents or resolve discrepancies, depending scheduling a preliminary hearing or other. I think because you'll be looking at the entire history of the application itself, it's nice to have the reason for the request itself, but when you get down to looking at the gaps that occurred in the application, I think that's really what will determine whether or not a fee is warranted.
Okay, thank you. So I guess some of the items I would like to say, this is not meant to be an investigation or whatnot. From the perspective of the commissioners here, it's hard for us to get a good idea of what's holding up various licenses as they come before us. And many times when you've come for a temporary license, we kind of ask, and when it readily appears like it's because of understaffing here, imposing that burden on new licenses and new businesses that are starting up seem a very unfair way to distribute the fees that are associated with actually running the liquor commission. And so it is with that intent that, yeah, like I said, it's not meant to be this invasive back and forth, but it is a way for us to check on the status of licensees as they come up for this vital second temporary license expiration. Commissioners, questions?
No questions.
And I guess I should ask, is there anyone in the audience that would like to testify on this item? Okay, seeing none, we will go on. Thank you very much. We'll go on to agenda item number 1. Transfer application number 24-02154 from Bottega 88 LLC, doing business as Joe Biddy. Hello.
Good afternoon, Chair Hong and members of the commission. Neil Gota, appearing on behalf of Bottega 88 LLC. Appearing with me is Jennifer Akiyoshi, the owner. We have no changes to the investigative report. For the record, applicant has been operating on temporary and special licenses with no problems.
Ms. Harai?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This application has received 0 written protests, 0 letters in support. Applicant has met statutory requirements for the submission of this application. And for the record, a summary of the January 16th preliminary hearing testimony was provided to Vice Chair Hollinger prior to the public hearing.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to testify for or against this application? Seeing none, commissioners?
I have one question. So the alterations that were made prior to the investigation, are those acceptable now?
My understanding is that it was approved.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve transfer application number 24-02154.
It's been moved and seconded to approve transfer application number 24-0214. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you very much.
Calling agenda item number 2, application number 25-01433 from Cafe Giovanni LLC.
Good afternoon, Chairperson Hong and Commissioners. My name is John Ng. I'm the attorney and agent for the applicant. To my left is David Lobima, LOWE-BIMA, who is one of the new manager members of the licensee.
Okay, and for the record, I believe the special opening event is for kickball, and I play in the kickball league.
Oh,
So,
okay.
all right, but that will not affect my ability to be impartial in this matter.
I'll do that.
Yes. Okay, commissioners, any questions?
So I guess my bigger question is regards to the application, organizational documents and all that,
Yes.
that's now all in line, or are there things that we need to make sure are clarified and corrected?
Have the commissioners received submissions that I had dropped off 2 days ago? There would be an amended operating agreement, which would comply with what's been filed at the Hawaii CCA and what's been submitted in a separate but related matter before the commission as far as change, amend, remove form.
I don't think we received that.
I don't think we received that.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Briefly, the investigator had some concerns because he felt in reviewing the operating agreement that was amended. We went from a single member managed LLC, which was mine. I sold it on January 1 to 3 people. Two of the 3, one of which is David Lobima, are managers. One person is just a member. So I had to amend the operating agreements from a single member LLC operating agreement to a multi-member LLC agreement. They had a structure that they wanted to put in, but they've restructured it. So what was presented to the
investigator, his concerns are legitimate. So I amended the operating agreement again to comply with statute and to make it simpler. And their structure that they had, where there would be kind of an advisory board, it's not official, so it's been taken out. So basically, 3 members. One has 51%, one has 24.5%. Mr. Lobima also has 24.5%. So they have appointed, and actually I did before I sold it, the new managers. So DCCA has on record that the 2 managers, Mr. Lobima and another gentleman, Ganjin, are the managers. They don't ask who the members are and what their interests are, but that's compliant with that. The add, remove, change form that we submitted in a related matter before the commissioner also says 51, 24.5, 24.5. So I do believe that the new amended operating agreement is consistent with all the other documents that have been submitted and filed.
I guess the
So
question would be, can we
Yeah.
find out from administration or anyone from licensing if we have the corrected documents? Or if we need to continue or hold on until we get these items?
Yeah, I did drop it off 2 days ago. I had a big stamp. Just to be sure.
Supervising Investigator Daniel Sutton, just to bring a little bit context to the situation. The commission initially received the corporation documents from Mr. Ng. With the application identified the current, as of January 1, it did transition over. However, the articles of organization and the initial operating agreement contradicted each other. Initially, it was reported to be a manager managed, but the operating agreement was member managed. Preceding documents afterwards shows that there was actually the sales doc, the change in the membership that was being reported shows Mr. David Lowe Bima and Philip Lowe were tenants by the entirety, which would mean that they both equally own a total of 49%. However, the operating agreement shows 1 member and 1 manager for 2 people, which they actually own both as 49%. And the management structure under the LLC would mean that they would both have rights as a manager and as a member. I did receive Mr. Ng's the 3rd version of the operating agreement. And I'm currently reviewing that, but there were subsequent documents from the January 1st document that was changed, I think 3 times with the same date. It was just amended. So I would have to review this last one to be sure. But just as of right now, it's like really unclear as to what the formation is.
You want to hold this open?
So I mean, it's a special license, so it's not like a public hearing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you need to hold it open as we would like a public hearing. But I do think we need some time to confirm with licensing to confirm that everything is accurate and correct based off of the changes that have happened. For me personally to approve a special request for this type of item. I want to make sure everything's ironed out in a sense, because we want to make sure that the people that are going to be holding your special event are the people for the right managing group and match everything that we have on record. So that, you know, everything is done correctly when we do these things.
Commissioner Hollinger, if I may. Okay, I have filed articles of organization when I opened this place. It's always been manager managed. It's on there. Even when you look at the DCCA short form, it indicates that it is manager managed. It's not member managed. It's still manager managed. I did submit the commission documents for the change of ownership and who the new managers are at the same time as the application for the special license. Because of the shortness in time, also I'll be leaving town this Saturday for a week. I asked for the hearing to be moved up, which gratefully you guys approved. So the other matter, as far as the organizational documents and the change of ownership and the change of managers, has not been scheduled for hearing or put before the commissioner today. So I'm not sure, I submitted at the same time. I'm not sure when that will be taken up again. The event will be on February 16th
Next
for a
weekend.
few hours, yeah. And
This is next Sunday.
Can we provisionally approve it subject to acknowledgement that the documents for organization are completed or no?
I think the signal from Corporation Council is that it's within your discretion. It's up to you. It would have to be with some,
We've done things like this in the past. However, I'm not sure. What's the repercussion? It's not. The event goes forward.
And then I would assume that we wouldn't issue the special license if the organizational documents are not.
The event would have taken place.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, say that again.
So what you're saying is to approve it conditioned to sorting out the documentation.
But we don't issue the license until after we're satisfied, so there's a risk that it won't be done in time. But on the other hand, the reverse is there's no license.
Right.
for the record, Mr. Lobima will be the manager in charge of that special event. We'll also have our blue card holding bartenders down there and our in-house security person also in that area. There will be two separate, it'll be treated as two separate premises, two separate businesses running. Basically, records will be kept, the GLS will be separate. Yeah, all three of the new owners will be there, and I plan to be there as well, because they'll be doing a little bit of food and stuff, so I'll be there as well. So I think the right people will be there. There will be some accountability, and it should run pretty smoothly.
Yeah, I don't think we're so concerned about that. We're just concerned about whether the organizing documentation is going to be complete and satisfactory to the commission inspectors. And so I would again like entertain a motion as opposed to conditionally approve it subject to approval of inspectors.
if I could just, because if with a conditional approval, it's similar to the public hearing where you approve a license. And the license, the new licensee has to complete a number of items before they are allowed to pick up the issued license. So it'd be something similar. I guess the risk would be is that if there's a disagreement between the applicant and staff here, their recourse, which would be back to you, would be fairly limited. There's that one hearing on the 13th, because that's the one meeting before the 16th. So I mean, hopefully something like that would not happen. And this is just a matter of the licensing section needing additional time to sort through a slightly complicated structure that changed quite a bit, and it will be signed off on.
So if we conditionally approve, does that mean that they should still come and appear next week? Or will it be, if they settle the documentation issues, it'll just be approved and picked up?
I think what we would have to do is carry it on the agenda for next week, just in case, because we don't want to ask you to add on to the agenda. And I don't think that that's necessarily a problem. And if everything is all okay, then there's no appearance and there's no further action. So we would carry it forward on next week's agenda. We'll figure out how to describe it. That will be the give the applicant the ability to appealed to you if there's remaining disagreement.
I see.
So I would suggest doing the motion as you suggest. And ask administration to put on the agenda this matter as to status. Of compliance. And if there is no need for it, it can be taken off the agenda. But at least it'll be on the agenda.
We're good.
Question for Investigator Sato. Supervisor Sato, is it reasonable to expect that these complicated matters could be resolved by next week?
In my opinion, I hope so. No, we've been working with Mr. Ng. I've been trying to point out the flaws and issues of what an LLC is and what the difference is between manager manage and member manage. I'm also referring to the Hawaii Revised Statutes 428 to see if it conflicts with one another. The initial documents that were submitted actually do conflict with the statutes, because it's never been addressed in that sense of the tenants in entirety, so to speak. So it would actually have some management issues between that and versus a member managed type of LLC where everyone's in charge. So that was the hang up. The other hang up for us is that the revised documents all share the same initial date of January 2nd, I believe. And it's just being revised and revised. So it kind of loses touch as to which one is the legal document that's correct. If we have,
I mean, which one supersedes which?
correct. And if Mr. Ng can, yes, agree upon a date that's solidified, or if there's any other superseding documents or to clarify these things, then we can probably move forward with one set of paperwork. But as of right now, it keeps on changing.
Mr. Ng?
The most recent amended operating agreement that was received here on February 4 does address that issue.
Okay.
It supersedes our prior terms and provisions of both operating agreements, the predecessors.
So we have a set of agreed upon documents that have been turned into the commission that can be reviewed, and if that review is satisfactory, then the conditions on the special license can be satisfied and it can be issued, and if not, then, well, we may see you here next week.
And when I basically did from scratch. I definitely looked through the statute and made sure it complied with every section of the applicable statute and Hawaii Revised Statutes. I had to use the same date because that's when the sale went through, and I couldn't, then there would be more problems with other entities, other agencies.
So maybe we don't need to like go through that part now.
Right.
But, is the commission in agreement, or do you have?
I mean, my problem will be, you can make a motion and I'm going to submit my answer of what I'm going to do, but I am going to say that my other bigger concern, right, is there's a lot of things that are happening with this. And if you look at when it was submitted, we got it on January 9th for an event that's on January 16th, which is 5 weeks prior to the event, which does make it harder to make sure everything gets done, specifically because we're looking for something that comes in prior to 6 weeks to the event.
January, February.
So it said January 9th was when we first got the documentation. January 29th is when everything was completed, but February 16th is when the event is, right? So if you count the weeks, that's 5 weeks out from your event. And so now we're kind of crunched to the numbers because the event's in a week from now. But if we got it previously or earlier, you might have more time to solve some of these things. But that's my view. But
No, that's.
Here we are.
Yeah.
here we are.
We look disparagingly on events that are less than the 6 weeks of notice. So.
Sorry, Chair.
Yep.
Just to add, because I want to be sure on what kind of documents we get, because they do have a dispenser license. And he did file for a change with that. So whatever I reflect on this report is gonna also be on the same for their permanent license. So that's why I'm stressing to get the correct documents, get it right, so I can do the other one as well. It's just that it's changed.
Okay, I'll make a motion for conditional approval for application number 25-01433. Pending the review of the organizational documents related to the business entity structure. I will also ask the administration to put this agenda item on the meeting of February 13th. Just in case we need to review.
Second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to conditionally approve application number 25-01433 as stated in the motion. Any nays or reservations?
I'll vote yes with reservations due to my prior point about being prior to the 5 weeks, and we're kind of constrained right now in making this approval.
Okay, no, one vote with reservation. I also vote aye. The application is provisionally approved. All right, thank you.
We appreciate your willingness to assist.
Okay, calling agenda item number 3, application number 25-01469 from Events International.
State for the
Good
record.
afternoon, Commissioners. Rick Schneider, CEO of Events International.
I will try to not have so many conflicts, but it's for the record that the applicants and I serve on a nonprofit together, and this will not interfere with my ability.
But we don't play kickball together.
Yes, they are more impartial. Okay,
I believe you received, I'm hoping you received
Yeah.
our event info.
yes.
Questions?
And we appreciate the security plan and the additional documentation added.
Questions? Okay. Motion to approve application number 25-01469.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve application number 25-01469. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is
Thank you.
Thank you.
calling agenda item number 4, application number 25-01480, Free Spirits LLC. And may I note for the record, we have nothing in common.
Good afternoon, Commissioner and Chairs. Matthew Choi, Manager for Free Spirits. I have no changes to the investigative report.
Commissioners, any questions?
So, Mr. Choi, reading the, in the packet, right, there is, a letter from some people that were concerned, I guess, in regards to how it was talked about at the neighborhood board. Do you have any comments or resolutions or ideas in regards to any of that?
Yep, I got a chance to review the letter. The events team did do a presentation to the neighborhood board. It looks like not all the board members were there. They were able to address the concerns. It looks like everyone except for one. They also did some public outreach individually to some of the board members that weren't there and seems to have got their approval. The main concern that we're taking a Kaka'ako event and moving it to Waipahu is not really accurate. It's following the same exact kind of similar format, but the Kaka'ako night market is geared towards young adults versus the Waipahu Street Festival was family friendly. So that comes changes in type of vendors, the type of entertainment, and the beer garden structure. So we're kind of using a beer garden structure that we use at Museum After Hours at Bishop Museum and that we did at Aloha Stadium. That seems to work. And the main thing for us is that the community is going to really determine whether or not they want that beer garden. So if it's something that they feel like enhances their event, then they'll visit the beer garden and they'll, entertain themselves there. If it's not something they want, then the beer garden will be a little bit slower and then we'll make the adjustments as we need.
So, based by the size, right? Do you guys have a max number you're gonna have in the beer garden at one time?
I'm not sure what the furnishing is going to look like in there.
Okay.
So if it's like night market, they put lounge chairs and tables and things like that.
Okay.
And so the capacity is a little bit lower. If it's kind of just freestanding, then it might be a little bit higher.
Okay. I guess my comment would be we won't know, how, as you said, right? It's gonna be based on the community. I mean, I guess I would say whoever's gonna be checking in people and banding them at the door, which I'm assuming they're going to do at the door versus at your bar. Kind of keep an eye out. If it starts getting kind of busy, slow them down a little bit. You never know, right? 'Cause
Yeah, so
it's
so
an
we'll
issue.
check IDs at the gate. We'll also have roaming security inside, and then we have roaming security on the entire footprint, and
Okay.
those guys will move in and out depending on the amount of people in the beer garden.
Nothing is gonna, no alcoholic beverages will be allowed outside the beer garden, correct?
Correct. It's still
Okay.
limited into the cage.
I have no other questions.
One minor question, is it gonna be uniforms type security or plain clothes?
They all wear matching black polos. And for town events, they stand out, but I'm not too sure how they're gonna stand out there.
Okay, thank you.
That's how you define uniform. Yeah. I have no questions. Make a motion to approve application number 25-01480.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 25-01480. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I ask for aye the application.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 5, application number 25-01483 from Dream Cultivators. Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Commissioner and Chairs. My name is Seiya Yoshida. That is SEIYA YOSHIDA, and I am the Executive Director of Dream Cultivators, doing business as BB Stop Honolulu. And to my left here is Alexandria Buchanan. That is ALEXANDRIA. Buchanan BUCHANAN. She's the event organizer for this event, the fashion show and live entertainment event.
Commissioners, questions?
We have notes that the last fashion show had some noise complaints. How will you address that?
So the noise complaints, it's not noise complaints, it's the bass complaints. Our speakers are close to the wall that they live right above. But for this event, we have a diffuser on the bottom of these speakers that we're hoping to use for this event that helps alleviate some of those pressures. And the time of the event will finish before or it finishes at 9 p.m. 9:30.
Do they have a way to contact you to say that it's still too loud and you'll take action to?
Yeah, they have direct communication with us.
So the only other question I had is, so I do see where the ID check will be for your entrance. Is your exit going to be the exact same place? Or is there another area where there will be an exit point?
That will be our entrance and exit.
All right. I would suggest, let's just make sure we have enough people there to watch people going in and out. Only because we want to make sure that people are not distracting your individuals or IDing and banding people that are going to help people come out with alcohol or come out and swap bands with someone or something like that. Especially when you have an egress and an exit point at the same area, you have to kind of watch out for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have 2 floating people on the inside of security and then 2 people at the door as well.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Motion to approve application number 25-01483.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 25-01483. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I ask for aye. The application is approved.
Thank you so much.
Calling agenda item number 6, applications number 25-01536-1, 25-01536-30 from Ichika LLC. You want to amend your motion? Just kidding. Please go ahead.
Oh, amended to,
You could take advantage of the new.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, Robin Melch on behalf of the applicant. And you mean amending to regarding the fees or?
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to amend it to regarding the fees with respect to this being a special license because the second temporary is about to expire.
So I think what I would like to suggest is that you keep the February days as is and
Okay.
pay for that, and then come back to us for a special license with the request form for the March and onward.
Oh, okay, I can do that then.
And so then we would amend this request to drop the March through.
I think we'd first have to have a motion to amend the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yes.
Since there's four of us, and then we could go from there, correct?
Just looking at corp counsel, if she, you'd have. I
So
mean, I sort of.
my understanding is that Mr. Hong is recommending that Ms. Melcher take advantage of the new pilot program that we talked about in the very beginning, because it is a special temp. After the second, special license for someone that's used their second temp. So they can get a reduced rate if it's on the commission. That's what I'm assuming.
We're gonna have to, I mean, unfortunately, Ms. Melcher will have to appear again next week because the waiver with respect to the neighborhood board notification was not agended, so that needs to be taken up before this body. So I'm not sure. I'm not suggesting that everything be moved to next week with all the adjustments. It's just that unfortunately you would have to come back.
Okay, we'll have to come back anyway, so I can request to move this to next week's agenda, since I do have to come back with respect to the waiver.
Yeah.
And then I can work with
And you
the
would,
staff to.
yeah, you would include the request with respect to the fee relief, and then we would alter the description of, I guess, the term of the specials.
Yeah.
If that's okay with everyone.
Okay, okay. So that's what I'll do. So I'm requesting to continue this matter to next week to be held with the waiver request, and I will then make my adjustments to my,
And the request for the fee reduction.
yes,
Right, so you
Without-
would be the guinea pig.
yes.
Right here.
Lucky you.
Yeah,
I don't know, she made a request, right? So we probably have to take action.
No.
No,
we
okay.
do not. So we'll,
All right.
so we'll see you.
thank you. See you next week.
Okay, then, thank you.
Good luck. All right. Calling agenda item number 7, application number 23-00907 from MDH Holding LLC. MDH Holdings. Okay, we will skip that and go on to calling agenda item number 8, application. Oh,
I don't know.
They're gonna
So
make
this
the
is
call.
for DMH Holding LLC, DBA Cohio Corner.
MGH.
No, because the I Mr. Luke thought maybe it was here, so I'm just.
oh, okay,
I guess not.
No.
Never mind.
Okay.
We'll come back to it.
okay. Calling agenda item number 8, application number 24-00859 from Earl's Restaurant.
Sorry.
Oh. We are
Not here.
skipping it.
We're gonna recall it.
Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Mr. Uriah Robert Leoka on behalf of Earl's Restaurant, the Center of Waikiki. I expect the request to proceed without my client. They're unable to be here today, but I'm an authorization for the liquor license application. We have no changes to investigators report. This is for a restaurant in the former California Pizza Kitchen on Kalakaua, 2nd floor, right across the Royal Hawaiian Center. We do have outdoor dining, but it faces Makai, Kalakaua Avenue. Underneath, there's the ABC store, Rip Curl, and Foot Locker. It's kind of right next to Waikiki Beach Corner.
So the old Waikiki Theater used to be, correct?
I think so. That's what someone told me because it has
Waikiki
that walkway
One-
going up. I couldn't
Waikiki
believe
One
it.
Theater. Sorry, that was in the
Yeah.
eighties.
Wow.
Showing our age. I remember that too. And yeah, on the top of the escalator, there is a picture of the theater.
Yeah.
That, yeah, 1, 2, or 3.
I think that was number one, because
Number 1.
2 and 3, I think were.
Oh, 1 and 2 are the twins.
No, yeah, maybe it's 3. I don't know. 2 and 3 were. It's kind of funny.
Okay, yeah. That's
Where
right, that's right.
Ross's was the other ones.
Yeah.
That is it.
I have nothing.
I have no questions.
Motion to approve application number 24-00859.
Been moved and seconded to approve application number 24-00859. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The application is approved.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
So that happens when you're too old.
Uh-huh.
A good time.
Calling agenda item number 9, application number 25-01516 from Dining Innovation Hawaii Inc.
Yes, may the record reflect Wayne Luke as the authorized agent and attorney for the applicant. For the record, I did file the application on the Friday on the 24th. But I had to make a correction, which was done on the following Monday. We have no changes to the investigator's report, and we need this time prior to the public hearing notice, public hearing, which is in February, March.
Any questions?
I don't have any.
Motion to approve application number 25-01516.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve application number 25-01516. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye, the application. Calling agenda item number 10, application number 25-01519 from 17A Productions LLC.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Angelina Khan, ANGELINA KHAN, member of 17A Productions LLC.
Okay. Commissioners, questions?
I don't have any.
So wait, this is an event not at your restaurant, but
Correct, it's at Coral Crater in Kapolei.
Sorry, I should have known this. Is this the first time doing it?
First time.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Other questions?
Okay.
Motion to approve application number 25-01519.
second. It's been moved and seconded to approve application number 25-01519. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye, the application.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 11, application number 24-00929 from YK and Song Inc.
The commission is in receipt of a request from council for the licensee requesting continuance to next available date. No action needed by the commission. We'll just contact council and see when he's ready to proceed.
Okay. Calling request number 25-01565 from Hanako Brewing. Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because it's Warhammer 40K.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little too nerdy.
No, it's all good. Hi, commissioners. One, I apologize for the attire. It's been a busy week. But my name is Joshua Kopp from Honolulu Brewing Company, JOSHUA KOPP. Would it be better to answer any questions you folks have,
Why
or?
don't you walk us through the event? Just
Sure.
because I'm interested.
So we were wanting to host a Warhammer 40,000 tournament at Honolulu Brewing Company in association with Other Realms. And the game itself is a game based on skill and understanding of the actual gameplay. Other Realms normally carries this at other venues, but they normally have to pay exuberant fees and it's incredibly costly. And since we had the space available, I was like, well, why don't we host it here? I saw it as a good opportunity. Normally when Other Realms hosts it, there is an entry fee. The entry fee normally goes towards the website that posts everything and then track player scores, which those scores then are used for them to compete on national circuits and sometimes international circuits. It's also used to pay for the staff required for the setup of everything, as well as the refereeing of the game. And then usually Other Realms does offer prizes, which are usually just monetary gift cards. And so I basically just disclosed that's what Other Realms would normally be doing at any other venue. I had kind of assumed that because it was nothing Hanako was giving, there was no alcohol involved, that the prize and entry fee would be acceptable. Honestly, my logic was the Sony Open and their Pro-Am tournaments. So that was kind of my idea there. But speaking with an administrator, the aspect of prizes and entry fees seemed to be something of suspect. And after speaking to other realms, I mean, we are very open to just no prizes. Like honestly, everybody just wants to play the game. We do have to do an entry fee though to cover the cost of the posting, the website and the league tracking, as well as the staff required, which they're going to be paying for, not Hanakoa.
Okay. Mr. Sato. But this was a licensing issue in terms of or was that somebody else?
It was,
Prize?
It was administration's referral to you.
Oh, okay.
With
All right.
and typically, yes, these come for administrative approval. It was denied initially. There were modifications made to the rules of play but we had to put it before you.
Okay, and it was just primarily because there was a monetary prize, not because of the fees being used to pay for.
Also, I guess there was a question with respect to, because there was a tournament action. Possibly an unfamiliarity with the game platform itself because we're old or whatever.
No.
Not understanding what is a game of skill versus a game of chance, because one's games of skill are typically okay, including tournament play, versus games of chance, which are not.
I mean,
I don't have any questions because I fully get what we're talking about, chance and skill.
yeah, I mean, I can show you
But
the
that's
rule books.
exactly
There's,
what it is.
I literally have
So usually what I
flashcards.
got. I get it. Okay.
Motion to approve request number 25-01565.
Second. Oh, yeah. It's been moved and seconded to approve request number 25-01565. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. That's approved.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, adjudication. Do we need to take a recess at all or?
Let's pop through.
This
Okay.
drives me.
Okay, calling agenda item number 13, 7-Eleven stores, number 54265, LCV 24-0079.
Good evening, Commissioners. Deputy Corporation Counsel Mario Everett appearing on behalf of the City and County of Honolulu. For the purposes of 7-Eleven stores, I have been in contact with Attorney Kenneth Hu, who requested that this be continued to the next available setting. He is unavailable today and just received discovery earlier this week. I have no objection.
All right. Calling agenda item number 14, Club Bonita, LCV 24-0071.
Hi, my name is Michael Shoji, Michael Shoji.
Mr. Everett, can you please read the charge?
Yes, there are 2 counts in this. Count number 1, on or about July 28, 2024, in the City and County of Honolulu, State of Hawaii. Licensee employed Chae Suk Kim, spelled CHAESUKKIM, in that section of the licensed premises where liquor is sold, served, or consumed, without said employee being properly registered with the Liquor Commission in violation of Rule 3-82-35.5 sub A of the rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu. Count number 2, on or about July 28, 2024, in the City and County of Honolulu, State of Hawaii. Licensee's employee, Chae Suk Kim, same spelling, whose conduct licensee is strictly accountable for under Rule 3-84-78.01 sub A, consumed liquor while on duty in the licensed premises in violation of Rule 3-84-78.01 subsection B of the rules of the Liquor Commission of the City and County of Honolulu.
And Mr. Shoji, you can, for each of the charges, we're going to go through what you can, your plea, okay? So for charge 1, you can either accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest,
No contest.
okay? I'm gonna do both and then we'll take one action on both, okay?
Okay.
So for charge number 2, you can either accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest.
No contest.
Motion to accept the plea of no contest for charges 1 and 2.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the plea of no contest for charges 1 and 2. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The pleas are accepted.
Mr. Everett, your recommendations for charge one and charge two, please.
Thank you, commissioners. Count number one is a first offense within the past 5 years. That is a $350 recommended fine. Count number two is a second offense within the last 5 years. The first offense was June of 2022. The recommended fine is $1,000 for a second offense. I would note that there are several outside of the 5-year span.
And sorry, can you please repeat was it $1,000 for charge two?
$1,000 for charge two, $350 for charge one, for a total of $1,350.
Mr. Shoji, do you have any explanations for charges one or charges two? Okay. So I would suggest this, that, charge two, you've had something that's similar that happened in 2022. You might want to keep an eye on that, because as you keep going within the 5 years, those amounts will get greater.
Yes.
Okay. So my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $350 for charge one and the recommended fine of $1,000 for charge two, for a total of $1,350.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $350 for charge one, $1,000 for charge two, for a total of $1,350. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The penalty is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 15, Club Fed New LCV 24-0080.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission, Keith Kiuchi for the licensee. As to item 15, counts 1 through 3, waive reading of the charge and a plea of no contest in all 3 charges.
Motion to accept the plea.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to accept a plea of no contest for charges 1, 2, and 3. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Everett, your recommendation for agenda item number 15, charges 1, 2, and 3, please.
Thank you, commissioners. Count number one is a second offense. The recommended fine is $500. Count number two is a second offense. The recommended fine is $750. Count number three is a first offense. The recommended fine is $500 for a grand total of $1,750.
Mr. Kiuchi, explanations?
Yes, the employee was a stripper who's since been fired. The third violation was not what it would seem. She wasn't sitting with the customer. She was in the back during the break drinking wine out of a cup. So and my client, the fact that she hasn't had a violation in 5 years, that's one of the violations that she tries to very carefully monitor. As to the registration, the employee represented her that she was registered and she didn't go down to the commission. So it didn't take my client that long to terminate her.
Mr. Everett, question. So you had did you state that charge 2 was a second?
Charge two is a second offense, the first being in June of 2021.
Okay. Yeah. Close to that 5-year mark. So we're almost there, right? Almost there.
And keep in mind, she's operated that bar for a long time. So, and she's in her 70s now. So she was supposed to close the end of last year. Yeah, she's still feisty in her 70s.
Oh my God.
So she's supposed to be closed. She's supposed to close at the end of last year because she sold the land and but they haven't developed the property. So she's going to move out at some point.
So, I mean, ultimately, on my end, right, the problem is, right, that we had someone that was not registered, right, and all of these things. And I understand that, a person is longer there, but we gotta be careful with those things, right? Because we don't want the wrong kind of people in those areas. And then the other problem realistically is alcohol is there, and whether it's with a customer or not, once they're drinking it, it's a different situation.
Oh, understood.
Okay. So my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $500 for charge 1 to approve the recommended fine of $750 for charge 2 and approve the recommended fine of $500 for charge 3 for a grand total of $1,750.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $500 for charge 1, $750 for charge 2, and $500 for charge 3, for a total of $1,750 in total. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The fines are approved. Okay, calling agenda item number 16, Club Fem New LCB 24-0095.
Again, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Keith Kyuchi for the licensee. Waive reading of the charge and a plea of no contest.
Motion to accept the plea.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve plea of no. Accept the plea of no contest. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Everett, your recommendation for agenda item number 16?
Agenda item number 16 is a first offense within the past 5 years. The recommended fine is $250.
Mr. Kyuchi, what happened?
An oversight on her part. She usually is never late. So, and she doesn't have a bookkeeper do it. She does it herself. So just an oversight.
Okay. Mr. Everett, does it state in there how long later we received it, or if it doesn't, if Mr. Kyuchi, if you know how long it took her to send it to us?
I'm sorry, commissioners, all of my information is from the date of the citation, which it hadn't come in by August 30th.
Okay.
I think she was like a month late.
Monthly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Mr. Everett, did you state that there wasn't, this was a violation, first violation within the past 5 years? Is there something that was later than that or outside of that mark that we have notified?
Not for the failure to timely submit.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Kyuchi, this is gonna be my recommendation, but understand I'm recommending this recommendation because you just sat here for a situation prior, okay, and make sure she understands it needs to be on time going forward.
Understood.
My motion is going to be to issue a letter of reprimand for agenda item number 16.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve a letter of reprimand. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The letter of reprimand is approved.
Okay, if we could take my, and it's not contested, it's 24 out of order. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna plea of no contest, so you guys don't have to be here that long.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 24, Hawaii by Night LCB 24-0064.
Again, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, Keith Kyuchi for licensee. To my right is Huang Le, Hoang, last name Le. He is a member of the LSC. We waive reading of the charge and enter a plea of no contest.
Motion to accept the plea.
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve, accept a plea of no contest. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Everett, your recommendation for agenda item number 24?
Thank you, Commissioner. This is a first offense within the past 5 years for an obstruction charge. The recommended fine is $1,000.
Mr. Kyuchi, explanations?
Yeah, so what happened is two investigators, including investigator Nishigata, apparently knocked on the door after 2 o'clock. And the women, the owner was in the back by the bar. 2 of the hostesses were in the front. They opened the doors and shut it. Part of the reason is that's not, this is on Kona Street. And it's not the most pleasant neighborhood is probably the best way I can put it. And what she should have done, which is kind of what investigator Nishigata told her she should have done is she thought something was wrong, dial 911, which she will in the future. But that area is difficult, is probably the best word I can use. And that doesn't justify what happened, but still, she was, both the owner and the two girls were a little bit spooked, so. And they were waiting for a taxi to come come pick them up and. But that doesn't excuse the situation. I think Investigator Nishikawa's advice is good advice.
So. So I just understand, right? They knocked on the door at 2 o'clock. Owner wasn't in front, in the back. The girls opened the door and closed it.
Yep.
Okay.
If I could add one thing.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the chance. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so that happened there, but they were at the front because they were waiting for a taxi to come.
Right,
Allegedly.
but the front was locked.
Locked.
Right,
Okay.
and the investigators knocked on the door,
Okay.
from what I understand, and
Okay.
they opened it and they immediately closed it.
Okay, okay.
So it was, that's where kind of the obstruction comes in, so.
Hold on now. I'm sorry. So I've let you talk to Mr. Sato, so, I guess, so I'm gonna open to allow you to, add your extra comments because I'm going to ask a couple questions as well, but go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, that's.
And just my comment is that obstruction of our inspectors.
Right.
We view very seriously and.
Absolutely.
They identify themselves and it is the obligation.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's, you're absolutely right, because that's the whole idea, right? You gotta be able to enforce. If you can't get in the premises, you can't enforce.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I guess do you have anything to add before I ask a question?
So the thing I was going to add
Yeah.
was. This isn't a case where investigator knocked on the door, they opened and shut without any other context. He did call out liquor commission investigator. There
Yeah.
was context to who he was while he was there.
Okay.
No, I agree with that.
The one other thing, and I apologize, I said that this was a obstruction charge. We charge this under the right of inspection subsection. The fine remains the same, but we combined the two. So I apologize for saying it was an obstruction. This is a violation of the right to inspection subsection.
And basically, that's the same concept, right? You're
Mhm.
supposed to let the commission in to inspect.
Inspector view or
Yeah.
anything, okay.
Yeah.
And technically, the question I was going to ask you was, how did our investigator announce that he was an investigator coming into the premises, right? Because ultimately, on my end, if he didn't say anything, well, I might be thinking something different, right? But if he's announcing himself, then it falls back on our licensees to make sure their people
Correct.
know that they need to let them in. Okay? Before I move on, any other questions?
No, you have to recommend fine.
You all right? Okay. So. Because of that, my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $1,000 for agenda item number 24.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to accept a fine of $1,000. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The fine is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Returning, to agenda item number 17, Clubhouse Lounge LLC, LCD 24-0073.
To my right is Phil Nam Irvine. She is president. She is present with Council Wayne Luke. We waive reading of the charges and enter a plea of no contest.
Motion to accept the plea.
Been moved and seconded to approve, accept a plea of no contest. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Everett, your recommendations for agenda item number 17?
This is a first offense within the past 5 years. The recommended fine is $500.
Mr. Luke, any explanations from your client?
No, we can't contest her. It was open and shut.
All right. So my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $500 for agenda item number 17.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to accept a fine of $500. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. A fine of $500 is approved.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 18, Goodies Market, LCB 24-0072. Goodies Market.
Hello, my name is Barry Nam, manager of the Goodies Market, Barry. Nam, NAM.
Mr. Everett, can you please read the charge for agenda item number 18?
Yes. That on or about August 1st, 2024, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to have a duly registered manager or assistant manager assigned to the licensed premises in violation of Rule 3-82-38.9 sub A subsection 2 of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
Mr. Nam,
Yes,
you can accept it, we're gonna ask you to decide on a plea. You can accept the charge, you can deny the charge, or you can plead no contest.
I deny.
Okay, so you're going to deny the charge, so you're gonna deny the charge, there's gonna be some things I'm going to read to you, okay? You're gonna have to come back for a contested case, so hold
Yes.
on. Motion to accept the plea. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the plea of deny. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Okay, so Mr. Nam, I'm gonna read to you some information, okay?
Yes,
So since you have pled not guilty or you've denied the charge and wish to return for a contested hearing, there are a few procedures that the commission requires you to follow. First, 7 days before the contested hearing, both the prosecution and the licensee must disclose to each other their proposed exhibits. Exhibits that are not timely disclosed may not be considered at the contested hearing. Second, the parties must disclose to each other the names of all witnesses and the proposed testimony of each witness 7 days before the contested hearing. Witnesses that are not timely disclosed may not be allowed to testify at the contested hearing. Third, each party's exhibits must be uploaded to the Liquor Commission's Google Drive by 4 p.m. on the Wednesday before the contested hearing. Information on how that can be accomplished will be provided to the parties and will be available on the Liquor Commission's website. If you have physical evidence that cannot be uploaded to the Google Drive, please be sure to let both the Liquor Commission and the other party know. As a reminder to each party, personal information such as medical information, social security numbers, birth dates, or bank account numbers must be redacted by the party whose exhibit contains that information. So you're going to get this all in the mail as well. And then they're going to let you know through Mr. Everett's on the date that you'll have a contested hearing. Yes, okay. So right now, that's all you have to do today, but you're gonna be coming back
yes.
with all that stuff and they're gonna let you know that. Okay? That's
You're
it
free
for
to
now.
go now. You'll get this rescheduling later.
Calling agenda item number 19, Huang J Corporation LCB 24-0062.
You can sit down and then we're gonna ask you to state your names for the record. So if you he can state his name first and then we'll have you state your name. Go ahead.
Anjali.
And then you can state your name for the record.
Jenny Oberlin.
Okay. So Mr. Everett, can you please read the charges for agenda item number 19?
Yes. On or about September 7th, 2024. I apologize, I'm reading from the wrong.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, one before it.
On or about July 12th, 2024, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee sold liquor on the premises, which is prohibited upon the expiration of the license and until that license is renewed and issued by the commission, which constituted a violation of Rule 3-82-31.4 subsection C of the Rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
Okay, so he understands the charge.
이해하십니까?
I try renew the liquor license.
Wait. So first, I just need to know that she's
Yes.
okay.
이해하시는지
Yes.
물어보시고.
Okay, so Mr. Lee, you can either accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest.
혐의에 대해서 본인께서 인정을 하시든 거부를 하시든 아니면 무항변을 주장하시든 하시랍니다.
거부.
Deny.
Okay. So you're going to deny the charge for agenda item number 19.
이번 사건에 대해서 거부를 좀 하셨습니다.
Motion to accept the plea. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the plea of deny. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Okay, so Mr. Lee, I'm going to read some items to you in regards to your plea of denying the charges.
그 본인이 지금 그 거부 답변하셨잖아요. 거기에 대해서 좀 읽어드리려고 합니다.
Okay, so I'll go each line so you can let him know. Since you've pled to deny the charge and wish to return for a contested hearing, there are a few procedures that the commission requires you to follow.
지금 그 본인께서 이것에 대해서 이제 인정하지 않으셨기 때문에 이것에 대해서 항변할 수 있는 지금 심리를 열겠다고 합니다. 그래서 그거를 하기 위해서 몇 가지 지금 그 여러 가지 절차를 지금 따르셔야 된다고 합니다.
First, 7 days before the contested hearing, both the prosecution and the licensee must disclose to each other their proposed exhibits. Exhibits that are not timely disclosed may not be considered at the contested hearing.
지금 그 이제 그 항변하는 심리 7일 전에 지금 그 라이센싱 본인이 되신 거죠. 그에 대해서 지금 다음과 같은 게시물, 그러니까 증거물에 대해서 이것을 그 디스클로즈 하셔야 된다고 얘기를 하셨습니다.
Second, the parties must disclose to each other the names of all witnesses and the proposed testimony of each witness 7 days before the contested hearing. Witnesses that are not timely disclosed may not be allowed to testify at the contested hearing.
그리고 이제 그 7일 전에 그 아까 말씀드린 항변 심리 7일 전에 그 증인을 하는 사람들의 이름을 그 제출하셔야 되는데 만약에 7일 이전에 이것을 제출하지 않으시게 되면 나중에 증인으로서 효과가 없게 됩니다.
Third, each party exhibits must be uploaded to the Liquor Commission's Google Drive by 4 p.m. on Wednesday before the contested hearing.
그리고 그 항변 심리이 있기 전에 수요일 4시까지 구글 드라이브를 통해서 이러한 게시물을 업로드하셔야 됩니다.
Information on how that can be accomplished will be provided to the parties and is also available on the Liquor Commission's website.
그리고 이것에 제출된 이런 정보는 본인들 그러니까 양쪽에 제공이 될 것이고 그리고 그 온라인에서도 이것을 찾을 수 있습니다.
If you have physical evidence that cannot be uploaded to the Google Drive, please be sure to let both the Liquor Commission and the other party know.
이게 어떤 실제적인 증거물이 있어서 이거를 구글 드라이브에 그 업로드를 할 수가 없는 경우는 리커 라이센스하고 그 상대방에게 이거를 꼭 알려주셔야 됩니다.
As a reminder to each party, personal information such as medical information, social security numbers, birth date, or bank account information must be redacted by the party whose exhibit contains that information.
그 증거물에 들어있는 그 어떤 의료 기록이라든가 소셜 번호라든가 그리고 생년월일이라든가 뱅크 어카운트 같은 거는 넣지 마시고 그거는 삭제한 상태에서 올려주시기 바랍니다.
Okay, so for agenda item number 19, this will be set for a contested hearing. You'll get a date and some information in the mail on when that will happen.
그리고 그 19번 사건에 대한 지금 그 항변 심리에 대한 날짜나 이것을 우편물로 해서 보내드리겠다고 합니다.
Mr. Everett, go ahead.
If we could also request an interpreter for whatever date that we set the contested hearing.
Okay, so
심리 결정되는 날짜에 한국 통역을 부르도록 요청하겠습니다.
okay, so I will also make that recommendation for the record that we make sure that we ask for an interpreter for whatever date the contested hearing will be selected on.
심리가 결정되는 날짜에 꼭 한국 통역이 필요하기 때문에 저희도 꼭 확인하겠습니다.
Okay, so now we'll move to the next one.
Calling agenda item number 20, Hwangjae Corporation LCD 24-0081.
So if you can both state your name again for the record, go ahead.
Angeli.
Jenny Oberlin.
Mr. Everett, can you please read the charge for agenda item number 20?
이를 지금 부르도록 하겠습니다.
That on or about September 7th, 2024, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee sold liquor on the premises, which is prohibited upon the expiration of the license.
지금 아까 말씀하신 내용은 똑같은데요. 2024년 9월 7일 날 하와이 시티 카운티에 지금 리커 라이센스에 관련된 위법 사항이 있었습니다. 8년 안 되는 걸 일단 위반했습니다.
And until that license is renewed and issued by the commission, which constituted a violation of Rule 3-82-31.4 subsection C of the rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
호놀룰루 시티 카운티의 룰 3-82-31.4 subsection C에 해당되는 법을 위반하신 혐의입니다.
Okay, Mr. Lee, how would you like to plead? You can accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest.
Deny.
Motion to accept the plea.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept a plea of deny. Any noise or reservation? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
So, Mr. Lee, we would read the exact same documentation or literature for the same charge. Can you ask him if he needs me to reread it, or does he understand?
아까 말씀하신 내용하고 똑같은 절차를 따르실 거고요. 그걸 다시 읽어드릴 필요가 있으십니까? No need.
Okay. So again, I will also state for the record, if we can have a translator for whichever date that this will also be set for a contested hearing. I would recommend, if possible, we try to combine the two on the same day, since we'll have the same interpreter for that situation.
항변 심리를 날짜를 정해진 그걸 알려드릴 건데요. 같은 날 아까 그 사건하고 이거를 같이 협동을 해가지고 같은 날 통역을 통해서 일을 하겠다고 하셨습니다.
Okay, so that's all. He'll get the information on when the dates will be.
나중에 그 날짜 알려드릴 겁니다.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling agenda item number 21, hygienic store, LCV 24-0082.
If you can state your name for the record, please.
My name is Young Shin.
Speak a little closer to the microphone, please.
My name is Young Shin. What I'm gonna put?
Can you spell your last name?
Young Shin. Young is first name, last name Shin. SHIN.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shin. Hold on. Mr. Everett, can you please read the charge for agenda item number 21?
Thank you. That on or about August 23rd, 2024, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to display within the liquor sales area of the licensed premises a shelf price for each size of each brand of liquor sold in violation of Rule 3-82-36.1 of the rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
Ms. Shin,
Yes.
you can either accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest.
I like I had the all cool.
Hold on. Okay, I understand you want to explain, but we first have to get a plea from you. You either can accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest.
I accept.
Okay. Motion to accept the plea of accepting the charge.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept a plea of accepting the charges. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Everett, what is your recommendation for agenda item number 21?
This is a first offense within the past 5 years. The recommended fine is $100.
Okay, Ms. Shin,
Yes.
can you explain to me what happened?
I have all the coolers, the price of their
Okay.
on each items. In the back items, not forward. Whatever I order 20 case, maybe Bud Light, and the 10 case go inside, upside is 10 case. Then I have to put the price. That's why I come here for that. Not
Okay, so-
inside the cooler.
Okay,
It's
so
like, no.
so you didn't have prices on the back stock
back
of the
stock,
beer,
yes.
but was the back stock of the beer
Yes,
outside where someone could purchase it?
yes.
So it wasn't in the cooler, but it was on the sales floor
Yes,
of your
outside.
store.
Yes,
Okay,
because the inside the store, but not inside the cooler.
right, I understand. So I guess my question to you is this. If someone wanted to buy that case of beer from you that's not in the cooler, that's just outside in the store, you would sell it to
Or
them.
inside the store, but no more, yes, the cooler is small.
Right.
Put,
Okay, so you can't put all the beer in the cooler,
yeah,
but the ones that you don't put in the cooler,
yeah.
if someone wanted to buy that, the warm one, could we buy it?
Yeah, they want to warm and then I go put in, the.
Okay, no, so, okay, so Mr. Everett, the alcohol that was not either, can you look in your, information if the alcohol that was not marked was the ones that was outside of the cooler?
The alcohol that was not marked were open for sale on the shelves, not in the cooler. I do have pictures if the commission would prefer to see that.
I understand. So, Ms. Shin,
Yes.
so what they're saying is there was some alcohol that was on shelves that were outside of the cooler that people could buy that was not marked. Okay, so going forward, you're going to need to make sure all the alcohol that's in your store
Yes.
that could be bought in or purchased has a price tag on it, whether it's a tag saying how much it is or something.
Or inside same, I don't get inside price, but outside I have to put.
You're gonna have to price it just in case
Yeah, then
someone
I-
wants to buy that one. Cause it's out there for,
Yeah.
to them to buy, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so because we need to make sure that any product has a price on it, okay? This is going to be something that's costly because I'm going to recommend the fine that he said because we want to make sure everything is priced in case someone wants to buy it, okay? So my motion is going to be to approve the recommended fine of $100 for agenda item number 21.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $100. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The fine is approved. All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all. You'll get something in the mail or they'll let you know and how to pay for the fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ms. Shin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling agenda item number 22, strip steak LCV 24-0070. Okay.
So Mr. Everett, how would you like to proceed with number 22?
Commissioners, the manager for strip steak was served with notice of today's hearing on September 19th, 2024. So they had notice. This is a first setting, so I would ask that it be continued to the next available. If they don't show again, we will ask for default.
Yes, please, go ahead and then if you can provide for us the how it was served or how they received it for the next one, since you want to continue. Okay, so we're gonna continue for agenda item 22 for the next.
Okay. Calling agenda item number 23, YPO Shell and Food Market LCV 24-0069. Right.
Good afternoon, Commission. This is Mary Kim, MARY. We had a problem.
Okay, hold on. Oh, so what we need is, so Miss Kim, right? We need to both state your name for the record. So Miss Kim, and you also need to state your name for the record.
My name is Joseph Kim. JOSEPHKIN.
Okay, so before you continue, we're gonna have Mr. Everett read the charges, then we're gonna walk you through how we do the process, okay? Mr. Everett, can you please read the charges for agenda item number 23?
That on or about July 26, 2024, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, licensee failed to display within the liquor sales area of the licensed premises a shelf price for each size of each brand of liquor sold in violation of Rule 3-82-36.1 of the rules of the Liquor Commission of the city and county of Honolulu.
Okay. Ms. Kim and Mr. Kim, you can either accept the charge, deny the charge, or plead no contest. How would you like to plead? Accept. Okay. Motion to accept the plea of accepting the charges.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the plea of accepting the charge. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The plea is accepted.
Mr. Everett, can you please provide a recommendation for agenda item number 23?
Thank you, Vice Chair. This is a first offense within the past 5 years. The recommended fine is $100.
And Mrs. Kim and Mr. Kim, can you tell us what happened? Why there wasn't some price tags on the alcohol?
Because of vendor, we have a beer company, Budweiser and the Paradise. Budweiser is okay. The Paradise is a normal worker, so we people every weeks order two beer for customer. But they have no worker, so as a change it 2 weeks, every 2 weeks order. So I told her, so every 2 weeks came my store. But I told her that she is okay. So and after 2 weeks, I saw her. So did you bring the price tag? So I forgot. She said that. So oh my God, we cannot put in the price because the beer only company put in the price, and then so that everything you cannot change that. You cannot put in the price. So we're waiting, always waiting. But she is a first time workman store, so she doesn't know, didn't know the everything. So we are and then waiting. The legal commission worker came here. Why didn't I explained to them? But they didn't listen to me. So and then my co-worker and then they cannot explain upset to that. So we are have this one.
So first thing is first.
Yeah.
You, right? You and your husband, you guys have the YPO Shell and Food Mart, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have the right to change any price sign of your alcohol. That's,
Yes.
you bought it, you purchased it. We do understand that you use Paradise Beverage or any liquor company to provide you the signs to put up there, but it's your store, so you're also held to the accountability to make sure that the shelf has a price, so that if I walked in and I wanted to purchase alcohol from you, I would know how much it is. Okay?
And then we have not everything no more. Only this one is they wanted that each beer, each price. Yeah.
Mhm.
For example, Heineken 6-pack bottle and regular bottle and then light bottle. They have a lot of the same price. So I think of it only one enough. But legal commission workers say that each everything.
Yeah, so like if you have one row of 6-pack Heineken, one row of 6-pack Heineken Light,
Yeah.
one bottle of Heineken, one bottle of Heineken Light, you have to have prices for each one, okay? So my question right now is going to be, do you have prices right now on all of your items?
You have a complete.
Okay, so it's complete now.
Individually, I had
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so that's good. But what I would say is take the time to find products that you can purchase to change prices or mark if you need to, because that's your product. And you don't have to have the alcohol company
Yeah.
put a price for you. You can put a price. You're buying it from them. I know they're helping you, but it's easier for you. Because when we come, they're gonna hold you accountable like they have here, okay? Okay. So now that it's changed, let's make sure we don't have this again. Okay? We don't have this problem. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So because we need you to make sure you have prices on there. And it's important that we all know what your cost is. I'm gonna recommend the $100 fine for agenda item number 23.
Yes.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a fine of $100. Any nays or reservations? Seeing none, I also vote aye. The fine is approved.
So you'll get something in the mail on how to pay for the fine.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We need to recall
You
anything?
you gotta recall that one,
Yeah,
right?
recall.
11, I don't know which
I
one
think
was
it's
it?
7.
Was it 7?
Yeah, they're here.
Recalling agenda item number 7, application number 23-00907 from MDH Holdings LLC. Is there anybody else to be called?
No action is needed by the commission. We'll try to contact the licensee and see when they are ready to proceed,
No, that was the only one.
or applicant.
Okay, calling agenda item number 25, Liquor Commission discussions of process and procedures outlined in agenda. I'm going to call out of order agenda item number 25.13, the legislative update. And the commission may go into executive session pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statute, section 92-4, subsection 92-5A4, to consult with the board's attorney on questions and issues on a matter pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunity, liabilities relating to our legislative update and the way that the commission addresses legislative action. I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for this purpose.
Seconds.
Okay, we are in executive session. Thank you. Okay, we are back from executive session where we discussed options and the processes for the commission to actually weigh in on the legislative process with council. Now to actually discuss the legislative update, Ms. Arai, can you discuss some of the measures that we were talking about?
I kind of would like to sort of summarize what this very active session has involved for us. It's the first year of the biennium. So first of 2 years. Currently, the Honolulu Liquor Commission is tracking a total of 70 bills. Of them, one has already been deferred. That would be House Bill 208, and that was one that was very directly involved with liquor regulation. But of the remaining 69, I think it's interesting to note that of that number, there are 12 bills that have what I call enhanced DUI issues with respect to either the lowering of the blood alcohol content level or victim restitution. So I think that's an interesting comment on I guess societal response to this issue, because this is the most I've ever seen since I've been tracking, is like 12 of them. And then there are a total of 20 bills that are very specific to liquor regulation. Some of them are in terms of what are both curbing I guess perceived undesirable licensee behavior, and others sort of just sort of providing guidance in terms of how liquor commissions conduct their operations. There are 13 bills that are I think directly related to the craft producers in our state, and everyone knows that that movement has been growing over the years, and they are actively pursuing I guess tax relief and expanding their commercial reach in the state and nationally. And then finally, a total of 24 bills that are very specific to governmental processes. And that would include things having to do with Uniform Information Practices Act, Sunshine Law, the whole gamut. And I did throw in, there's a couple in there that for lack of anything better, I put some of the proposed organizational bills with respect to the cannabis hemp movement are in that 24. But it's a very interesting lineup. I like to look at it from year to year to see where the tides of change are headed. But I think there are some messages here. So it's been a very, very interesting and busy session so far, and we're going to stay with it.
All right, before I take additional questions, I believe Commissioner Sakamoto, you need to go. Okay, all right. So I guess to note for the record that Commissioner Sakamoto is leaving at this time. Are there any questions for Mr. Ryan? Okay, we'll move on to liquor administrator. Number 26.
Bob Chilos, Administrator, Honolulu Liquor Commission. I think for the operational update, I'd just like to say a few things. First of all, I was able to meet with newly elected council member Nishimoto. He's replacing council member Say on the council, and just offered our name, and let them know that if there are any questions whatsoever regarding the Honolulu Commission, they feel free to contact us and we'll provide the information that's necessary that they need. Additionally, I think it's good to note that the amendment to the unlawful discrimination rule, section 3-82-3.15 has been filed with the city clerk, and hopefully everything went well, and hopefully in 10 days it'll be in effect.
Great.
Also, I participated in a discussion amongst certain departments about Bill 1, It's a city bill, it's a city council bill. And it's designed to make permanent the dining services for the outdoor dining services program that was instituted during the COVID period. There's a role for the liquor commission in that. I believe we would be involved in extension of premises as restaurants are allowed to serve outside the four walls, so to speak. But it has to be on city-owned property. And with that, I open any questions.
Okay, thank you. And with that, we'll go to agenda item number 27. Any announcements? Before I gavel this out, anything that I missed that I need to recall? Okay.
Don't.
We're adjourned.